What's shaking, guys? MagicActivatr here, and today we are here for something a little bit different, for me at least. I haven't done one of these really ever, but we're going to do a Sun and Moon discussion video because we've got new stuff that's been revealed today, and we've got, to be honest, just like a lot of stuff that I wanted to talk about, and I kind of wanted to discuss it. I didn't really want this to be a news video, more of a discussion video, so we're going to talk about some of the new things that were announced. And joining us today, we've got a special guest, so go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's cracking, people? AnomalyFlame here today to talk about some Pokemon.
I'm going to talk about some Pokemans. Alright, so,
Pokemon, thank you very much.
Oh, my mistake. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and be talking about kind of the new Pokemon and new forms and all of this crazy stuff, because if you've seen the trailer, which I know you probably already have, it's all kinds of crazy. If you haven't, I'll link it in the description below. But we're going to go ahead and get started talking about some of these new Pokemon. And so the first one we're going to start with is one of the new Alola region Pokemon, which is called Oricorio, I guess is how
I think it's Oricorio. Yeah.
Oricorio? Yeah. So this is a new bird type Pokemon. It's flying type, I guess. But it's a bird Pokemon.
It's a bird type Pokemon.
It's a bird Pokemon that is very interesting because it has actually 4 different forms, and the typing of each of the forms is based off of basically which island that they are native to. So we've got the 4 different Alola region islands, and each one has a different one of these forms that has a unique typing. So apparently,
and each typing is matched with a dancing style too.
Right. So you got 4 different styles. What are the styles?
You got Bale, I think is how you pronounce it. It kind of looks like Bale with an E. So
yeah.
I guess that's Bale.
That's the fire one, right?
That's the fire one. Yep. You got Pom Pom, which is like straight up a cheerleader. That's electric. You got Pau, which is psychic, and then Sensu, which is ghost.
That's pretty fresh. So like we got like you got the different types, and apparently according to this, it says that Oricorio changes its form by sipping the nectar of certain flowers. So that's why it's different from the different islands, is because it's taking nectar from different plants, I guess. But this thing's really, really interesting because of its ability.
Oh yeah, Dancer.
Yeah, so
that ability is pretty insane.
Yeah.
Basically, if any Pokemon with a dancing move shows up, it's like, oh, I'm gonna quiver dance and sweep you. Or Choreo comes down and says, you can quiver dance? Watch this, I can too. Doesn't even take up a turn.
Says, watch me, watch me. So, yeah, so basically, it's an ability that copies any dance move. So, like, quiver dance, swords dance, dragon dance. If somebody tries to set that up on you, you get the exact same boost. And I assume that it's like it doesn't take your turn. Like, it's just an ability that kicks in, and which is kind of crazy because
it'd be kind of silly if it did take your turn.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of terrifying actually too. Like, because imagine competitively, like you come in like and you're gonna like set up. They try and set up on you or whatever, and
people will be using curse a lot more.
And you predict that, right? Well, you could use your turn to go for a move, and if it just counts as like your ability and not your actual turn, you could get the boost that they just used and attack them if you were slower than them, I guess. But it's kind of crazy. And also it gets this new attack called Revelation Dance, and it essentially just it's the type of that's the same as the form. So like
whatever dance style you have, that's what type of Revelation Dance
so
you get.
The electric one, Revelation
Pom-pom.
Dance, is going to be electric type. With the Sensu, it would be ghost type, etc., etc.
Pau, psychic, Bale, fire.
Yeah. So, I think these things are really cool. I like their designs.
Yeah. Oh, I'm definitely a fan.
Yeah.
For some reason, like in 4th gen, I fell in love with Chatot.
Yeah.
And ever since then, these little like bird Pokemon that you don't know what in the world it's supposed to be doing, but it's there and it's kind of cool. I'm like, oh, I like this guy.
Yeah. I really like the which one is it? The Pau, the psychic type one?
Yeah.
That one's really, I like that one a lot. and then the fire one, which I can't remember any of the form names, but
Bale.
yeah, he's just like ready to go in the stuff. But anyway, so
I think the pom pom one is hilarious.
I like how the other ones are all like these like obviously like traditional dance styles and stuff, and then you just got one that's like got pom poms. Like, let's go. Yeah, so we got that, and then the next Pokemon that was introduced is honestly probably one of my favorites of the new ones that they introduced.
Oh, it's sick looking.
And it's Minior, which is
it's a floating rock.
Yeah, literally, because it is rock and flying type.
Rock flying type.
Which means it doesn't have levitate, I'm sure.
It doesn't have levitate, no.
Actually, it gets a new ability as well. I love like all
Shields down.
I love all the new abilities, by the way, that they're
all the
adding.
new abilities are so amazing and like creative.
Yeah, so Shields Down, as Flame said,
down.
is this thing's ability, and essentially what it is whenever it starts off in this rock kind of shell thing, and once it gets below 50% HP, all of a sudden its shell breaks off and its stats change. It's no longer defensive, it's more offensive. I believe let me actually read this so I don't misquote anything here, but Minior are formed in the stratosphere and live by absorbing the detritus around them. When they've consumed a large quantity of particles, their bodies become heavy and they fall towards the planet's surface. Minior has a hard and heavy outer shell with a core inside it. The Meteor Pokemon seems to be made in such a way that if its shell breaks, it becomes lighter and can deal out quick attacks. When its shell breaks, the core in the center is revealed. You won't know what color will appear until this happens. That's the other thing about it, is the core form of it has these different colored variations, which are really cool.
4 of them.
They remind me of Lumas from Super Mario Galaxy.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. And I don't see it. I could have sworn. Let me check the Pokemon. I think someone said something about like they're protected from status as well until they...
Yeah, I think the first half, like before their shields go down, they don't get status. I believe I saw that as well.
Yeah, so...
I'm like 90% sure. 90%.
Let's see. Have excellent defensive capabilities as long as its shield is intact. It's also protected from status conditions. Yeah, so that's pretty crazy. Like, you've got a much more defensive Pokemon that can't be statused until it drops below half, and then all of a sudden it becomes faster, it can attack a little bit harder, and it loses that immunity to statuses. So,
And honestly, it's like the ideal Pokemon for setting up.
yeah.
Because you send it out, it's defensive, it's going to take hits, and you just build it up. Get Swords Dance or Dragon, or like whatever move you have to set up, assuming it gets setup moves, which it better, otherwise I'm going to be upset. And then your shield goes down, and all of a sudden you're faster than everything.
Yeah.
And you just wreck.
It's crazy.
It'd be amazing.
Yeah, I don't. It's interesting. Rock and flying type, which we only have a few of those here and there throughout. With like
Shout out to
Aerodactyl and Archeops and a few things like that. But it's a pretty cool typing. It's immune to Earthquake, which is one of the big things you have to deal with when you have Rock type Pokemon normally. And then like I like that. Because it is rock flying, it doesn't have to have levitate, and it has this new ability, which is really, really nice. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I like this one a lot.
Not to mention, when it's in the core form or whatever, it looks so freaking happy. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's actually quite adorable. So anyway, next up we're gonna talk about, I believe this is your favorite, Flame.
I don't know about that.
So yeah, the next one that we got is actually the evolution to Young Goose.
Young Goose. Beautiful name.
Yeah, so we got its evolution, which is Gumshoes.
Gumshoes, a.k.a. Donald Trump the Pokemon.
Basically. It's so funny because like so many people are like comparing. I think you were talking about this earlier. Everybody was comparing Yungoos, and they were like, "Man, this thing looks like Donald Trump." And
I was trying to tell them no. I showed them, no, man, Yungoos is good. He's cool. He's gonna be looking awesome when he evolves, and then he evolves and he like actually looks like Donald Trump. And I'm just like,
in fact, he might look more like Donald Trump than Donald Trump himself, which is pretty wild. But anyway, he's rocking out. He gets the same abilities as his former, which was Stakeout and Strong Jaw. Interested to see what its stats are gonna look like, because
I have a feeling he'll be usable. Because like normally the like Route 1 rat Pokemon is pretty butt, right? But this one like just overall looks stronger.
Yeah.
Like it can actually dish out damage.
Stakeout is a pretty decent ability as well. From a competitive standpoint. So I definitely think this one will have more use than some of the others like Raticate. Oh man, Raticate. But yeah, not a whole lot to say here except this thing will make Pokemon great again. So
it hurts.
Anyway, let's move on to the next one, which is a really cool. Actually, it's a couple of Pokemon because we actually got it's
a new
line, and it's assuming it's two stages, unless they surprise us with a.
Yeah, they did the little arrow between them. They might drop something in between at some point.
But anyway, it's a new grass type, and it is called Mantis, which is the basic stage, and then it evolves into Lurantis. And it's basically a praying mantis style Pokemon. I can't remember what the actual name of the praying mantis is, but there's one that looks kind of like a flower, and I'm pretty sure that's what this one is based off of. I can't remember the technical name for it, but it's interesting because it's pure grass. Like it's not even bug.
Yeah, it's just a grass type.
I was kind of like surprised like it wasn't bug. Yeah. I could have also seen it potentially being like fairy or something, but
yeah, it's really ironic though because praying mantises are known for eating other bugs, but this praying mantis Pokemon is weak.
Yeah, that is actually kind of funny. But yeah, it gets Leaf Guard. So nothing new or fancy there, but it does get a new move, which is pretty sick looking, I'm not gonna lie. I believe Solar Blade is the name of it.
Solar Blade.
So basically, like literally what it is a physical solar beam. It's, it takes a turn to charge up. I would assume if you were like in sunlight or something, it would save you the turn of charging. But then it does this crazy animation. It's kind of like something shot a solar beam straight up in the air and then just like brought it straight down on you like a sword.
Yeah, it looks like it literally grabbed the solar beam and hit you with it.
It's pretty crazy. But I love this one's design. It's really, really cool.
Agreed.
I'm still just trying to get over the fact it's not part bug, but I mean, at least it's not.
I just thought it was weird that it was grass at all.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like at least it's not 4 times a week to fire, so it's got that going for it.
Right.
But anyway, I guess that would bring us to the last brand new Pokemon that we got, which is a really fun one. This one is actually the basic stage of Mudsdale, and it is called Mudbray.
Mudbray. This thing, I'm so glad this thing's here, because the fact that Mudsdale now has a pre-evolution gives credence and strength to the fact that Mudsdale will be able to be a usable and decently strong Pokemon. Because normally if a Pokemon's just like, it's just one stage, it's not going to be it's going to be okay, but it's not going to be super strong, right? But now, since it has 2 stages, then that gives it a really, really good chance of being like a for real content. Like hopefully it'll be in like UU, because best tier.
Well, so Mudbray's got own tempo and stamina, which I believe is the same abilities that Mudsdale gets. So stamina, that one crazy ability that everybody was saying, oh, this thing's gonna be broken. But yeah, I like this its design. It's got that little like donkey style.
It's like a little colt mule type thing.
Really, its eye is interesting. It almost. Oh, I shouldn't say this because I'll not be able to unsee this now, and I don't want to ruin it for you. But if you look at it, because of the way that its eye is designed, it looks like its eye is sideways. And I just ruined the internet. So you're welcome.
You did.
You won't be able to unsee that.
I'm gonna work really hard and I'm gonna do it.
But yeah, so this thing's cool. It's gonna be exciting, and yeah, I think that's all of the new Pokemon. But we do have one other topic to talk about in terms of Pokemon, and this is probably gonna be the most interesting part of this discussion. And this is the new Alola Forms. So essentially,
the new old Pokemon.
So essentially what they decided to do was take some of the like older Pokemon, specifically right now we've only seen first gen Pokemon, but the idea is that some of these Pokemon are available in the Alola region, but because they're in certain climates and areas of the Alola region, they have these different.
They have to adapt to their.
It's essentially they're adapting to their environment, and so we have new typings and abilities for some of these old Pokemon. So the first one,
and appearances,
specifically appearances, because the first one that we're looking at is probably one of the most irrelevant Pokemon from first generation.
But the most relevant Pokemon in Pokemon Go.
And sure to be the most relevant Pokemon in Sun and Moon, or at least the most talked about, and that is Executor. So, oh man, I don't even know what to say about this thing, other than I think it's hilarious.
I mean, Executor was already so ridiculous of a Pokemon to start with. Like, it's a bunch of eggs that are not actually eggs, and it turns into a palm tree.
Right, he was like, it was such a doofy Pokemon anyway. Like, just the fact that it was eggs, and then it was like this palm tree that had legs and a bunch of faces on it. But now, all of a sudden, no longer is he short and stout, but he is like
Michael Jordan.
He's like 20 feet tall, and
he has a tail.
Like,
I didn't know he had a tail. Who knew that he had a tail?
Yeah. So, yeah, basically, he's got a new typing. So he is, instead of being grass and psychic type, he is now grass dragon, which is so weird. Like, not only does this thing look absolutely goofy, but he gives just like why dragon?
Like, man, like Charizard had to mega evolve to become a dragon. Executor
just had to migrate
just goes
to
on vacation. And he's a dragon. Like, what in the world?
I mean, in hindsight, like, why was it psychic type to begin with? But dragon is even more obscure.
In foresight, why is it dragon?
It's just like, and probably the best part of this entire thing is that instead of having harvest or chlorophyll, its ability is frisk. The Pokemon that has no arms and is also like 20 feet tall.
It frisks you. Knows exactly
it frisks you. Like, I don't understand unless it's just like, instead of actually frisking, he's just like looking from high up and he sees what you're hiding behind your back.
Bends down with his neck and just like sniffs your body, just all around you.
Oh man, don't put that thought in my head. That's disturbing. But yeah, and not to mention he's got an extra face now that's growing out of his tail. So
is that actually a face, or is it like actually a coconut?
It's a coconut, but it's got a face.
Does it have a face on it? Okay.
Yeah,
that's creepy.
Like we didn't see it until we saw like the behind shot,
gotcha.
like when you're using it. But oh man, it's
it'll be an interesting one.
Oh, it says this Pokemon excels at whipping its long neck like a lash to attack with its hard heads. but that neck can sometimes become a weakness. No kidding.
Alright.
I mean, if this thing falls over, he ain't getting up. It ain't happening.
I have fallen and I can't get up.
It's like a T-Rex, only if it didn't have any arms.
And if it was a tree.
You're right. Or just had like a 70s hard rock haircut. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next one, which is the one I personally is my favorite thing.
This might be my favorite of the
This might be my favorite Pokemon period that they've announced, even though it is an old Pokemon. And that is the Vulpix line. So Vulpix and Ninetales also get this really cool Alola form, and it's actually probably the most drastic of the type changes that we've seen, because it's no longer fire type. Instead, it is ice type, and Ninetales additionally gains fairy typing. So you got Vulpix, which is ice type, then it evolves into Ninetales, and it gets ice fairy type with the ability Snow Cloak. And I just gotta say, dude, the design of these are so nice. Like Ninetales is so majestic. Like, that's what I wanted shiny Ninetales to be.
Yeah.
That's the coloration I wanted shiny Ninetales to be. But now it's just the regular form, and it's awesome.
I mean, if you think about it, Ninetales kind of embodies the sun and moon, because like you got the sun form, which is like the original Ninetales and Vulpix, right? And then you have like the mystical, like icy cool looking new forms, and it's kind of like the moon.
Yeah.
Like,
it's really
it reminds
cool.
me of the Avatar, like Sokka's girlfriend who turned into the moon. That's what Ninetales reminds me of.
Oh yeah. But at first I was a little bit hesitant, because I was like, the first thing I thought when I thought ice fairy type, I was like, oh geez, this thing's gonna be so terrible because it's gonna be 4 times weak to steel type. But I started like crunching like the numbers, and it really only has 4 weaknesses. One of those is 4 times weak to steel, but the only other weaknesses it would have would be rock, fire, and which is kind of ironic. But
poison
and poison, yeah. So it's actually pretty.
It's an ice type with only 4 weaknesses.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
Yeah, and not to mention, this thing is gonna be murder to any dragon types that want to come around.
It's not even fair. Not fair.
Oh man, you guys just better hope they let Mega Charizard X come back, or it's not gonna be pretty.
Nah.
It's not gonna be pretty.
Nah.
But yeah, dude, this one's my favorite. Design wise, it's so cool. Like, I will have one of these on my team. I don't
this
care.
will be on my team. If it's not, like I might spend an entire episode when I do the LP of this thing simply looking for one.
Yeah, dude,
like, it's worth.
But we got one more of these as well, and this is another Pokemon that really doesn't get a whole lot of love,
as much as it
especially in a competitive standpoint. But that is Sandshrew and Sandslash. And so these guys get some new typing as well, which is Ice Steel. Both of them are Ice Steel type, which is
Steel.
Absolutely insanity. They get Snow Cloak as well as for their ability. But yo, this is just a really cool typing.
Amazing.
So it's got like I don't remember exactly what all of them are, but I know it's got. I think it's only got like 3 weaknesses. 2 of those are like 4 times weaknesses.
You got fire.
You got fire, and then you've got fighting.
Yeah.
Which would both be 4 times.
And you also got ground and not rock, because steel resists rock. So.
Yeah, I think that's the only ones. It's only those 3.
Wow.
And then it's got several resistances.
That's a really good ice type then.
Yeah, it's a really solid ice type. I'm hoping that it does keep, some of the main things that Sandslash does. Like if this thing keeps Rapid Spin, it'll be really useful.
Oh yeah.
And so that's the thing too, is like we're seeing in the trailer, like they learn moves based on their new typing. So it's not like they're still using.
It's not like you got an ice fairy using flamethrower.
Right.
It's using ice. Beam now.
Yeah, it's using like Ice Beam, or I think we saw Sandslash maybe use like Ice Shard or something.
Yeah,
like that.
Ice Shard and Metal Claw.
And Yeah, so really, really cool. I like Sandshrew. He's got like an igloo for a head.
Oh, it looks so cool.
And then of course you just got Sandslash, and his spikes are now just these huge shards of ice sticking off of his back.
And his claws look like actual like razors, razor blades.
Yeah. It's pretty intense. These things are gonna be so cool to use. I'm excited to see what other ones that they have. But one of the things that I was gonna bring up though, because I thought it was interesting, is the fact that we do have these new typings for these Pokemon, and it made me wonder, like, surely we're not like, surely we're still gonna have the original versions of these Pokemon.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like it's gonna be one of those things where maybe, like, it's a question of, are they gonna be like maybe available in a different part of the region, or can you only find the Alola Forms in the Alola region, and like to get regular Sandslash or regular Ninetales, you would have to transfer them from like X and Y or something like that to be able to have them.
Yeah, I have a feeling that you'll have to end up transferring them to get the non-Alola Forms, because you can still fill up the Pokedex, because if it's just a form, you can still fill up the Pokedex in the other ones, and then there's not really a reason from like the game standpoint to let you catch the other one.
So I definitely feel like that's the way it's gonna go, is that you will have to transfer them. I just hope it's not like one of those things where it's like once you transfer them, they change to the new typing. Like I want to I want to be able to still use the old typings, because
I want to be able to
have a
ground Sandslash and an Ice Steel Sandslash.
Yeah, I want my double battles. I want to have 2 Ninetales on the field doing different things. That'd just be sick. But yeah, so I'm excited about this part. I'm so excited about these new forms.
It's basically a Delta Pokemon from like the games.
Yeah, like the TCG and the fan games and stuff. Really, really cool. If you had to pick one Pokemon, like one of the original Pokemon that got a new form or new type, which one?
Of the ones that they released already?
No, and like one that they haven't
or of a new
announced.
One that they haven't.
Yeah, like which one do you hope that they put in?
That's a hard one.
Yeah. I don't know which one I would want the most, but I do think, because I think we've even talked about in the past, like Mega Persian and like gaining Dark type.
Yeah.
If they had like Dark type Persian, that would be sick.
Or if they had a Luxray that just totally changed type. I don't know to what.
Oh,
I don't know.
Dude.
I don't know to what. Just something totally different, but still look like awesome like Luxray.
Yo, Octillery though.
That'd be lit. That'd be lit. Make Octillery like a fire type.
Oh man. Yo, I don't know, man. I'm really hyped about these new Pokemon. So yeah, let us know what you guys think about the new Pokemon in the comment section below. What Pokemon do you hope gets a new Alola form? Do you even like these new Alola forms? I personally really dig them. I think they're gonna like change things up a lot. I think we're gonna see some tier hops from some of these guys, specifically Sandslash.
Yeah, I mean, it could be better, you know, 7 out of 10, too much water, but.
But anyway. I think that about covers everything. Anything else you wanted to mention about new Pokemon or new forms?
Not particularly, other than like, this is gonna be like the first time I ever played through a game and got 2 ice types to use. Like,
yo, what's crazy about this though is like some people who are gonna be playing this game for the first time, like, this is what they're gonna know Sandshrew as.
Oh my god!
Like this is like
weird.
It's strange to us because when we think Sandshrew, we're like, oh, ground type.
Yeah, well, I mean, they might too because it's a Sandshrew.
Right, but
Vulpix and Ninetales.
But like they're gonna know them as.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's crazy to me think that there are people who are gonna be just playing Pokemon now. Makes me feel old.
Oh man, yeah. So I'm wondering if we'll see some from like some of the other regions, or if they're only kind of rebooting first gen mons. But
yeah, like
I don't know.
Vanillite is a poison type now. It's just toxic.
Oh man. But anyway, guys, I think we're gonna wrap this video up. And if you're wondering about any of the other features that were announced today, we've got another video that I did with Flame that's over on his channel where we're talking about all the new features, riding Pokemon, the new island challenges, all of that fun stuff. So definitely be sure to go check out his channel, subscribe to him, all that good stuff for more of that. His link will be in the description, and of course the original trailer will be in the description as well. But with that said, we are going to get out of here, so have yourselves a good day, stay cool, and Flame,
we'll catch you guys next time.